need to be with you. 2 years, all it takes is 2 years. You just gotta be able to take care of me. Like alone, my bills come up to about $3,000-$4,000 a month. So you gotta be able to handle this on your own. Plus, I got 2 kids. It's a package deal. You gotta be able to be like, baby, I got y'all. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. That's what I need. I'm done with the helping stage. I'm done with the trying to build you up. I done that enough. I done built myself up. So now I'm just looking for somebody that's gonna come with you. I like that.
If that isn't entitlement, I don't know what is. And that really turns a lot of men off. Because what you're doing is you're asking something from him that you're not willing to get back in return. Let's go on to number 2. The number 2 reason that black men do not want to invest into black women is looking at black men as second-class citizens. In other words, you feel you are better than them. And this is what you hear all the time. Let's say for things like Black Girls Rock, right? Which I don't have a problem with black women who are doing very well. In fact, in the United States, it was never black men trying to keep black women behind. In fact, the first woman to be ordained in the black church was ordained by a man. I think it was the first person in the United States that was ordained as a female was ordained by, I think, Henry McNeil Turner. Shout out to George, right? Who was a black man. So we've always have been, from our African roots, where women run markets and run economies to a certain degree, we've always been okay with black women having an equal share and sometimes leading communities. It's never been such of a problem for black men. The biggest problem is that when black women attain these things, they immediately start, and this is not all, but this is a good portion, looking at black men as if they are second-class citizens, looking at black men as if they are less than. And of course, you're going to hear certain talking points. I played one already, but you're going to hear things like, it doesn't matter if I have kids, you need to take care of me and my kids come first. You'll always hear things like that. And if your kids come first, who comes second? Oh yeah, the guy comes second. Who's going to come in and, give your kids a better life? You want him to come in and help raise those kids, but he's a second-class citizen, so his needs are not met. And that very well goes into the entitlement piece. Men are not going to invest anywhere where they feel like they are second-class citizens. Just think about these countries that we have so many talented Africans coming from, okay? So many countries. I want to play a clip, actually, of George Ayete, one of my favorite PhD economists. He's now passed away this year. But he's going to make an example about Nigeria and Nigerians investing in their
stability. You need to have economic stability, political stability, and social stability. Nobody is going to invest in a country which is racked by chaos and instability. You need to have that kind of stability has eluded many African countries. And finally, you need to have some basic system of incentives. By incentives, we mean that all of us, we want to have nice cars, nice houses, and so forth, etc., etc. Right? But in every society must make a rule. And that rule is those who get ahead are those who become successful or rich. It is not like this in Africa. If you want to be rich, you enter into politics in Africa. Because the richest people are the heads of state. The crooks are the ministers and so forth. Right? So the system of incentives that we have in Africa is completely distorted. Those who sing praises to the governments or to the despots in power are those who are made ambassadors and ministers. Right? And we have to replace the system, sycophancy, for example, with a system which rewards hard work and initiative. If we can have these, the rule of law, property rights, and so forth, stability and so forth, then we'll be able to create the enabling environment which would attract investment. And even I'll say that forget about the foreign investors, concentrate more on domestic investment. Because if Nigerians themselves are not investing in their own countries, Why should Americans? Do Americans know something which Nigerians do not know? And why would Americans invest in Nigeria when the Nigerian heads of state and ministers are taking their money out of the country? It is the same like in Russia, for example. Capital flight out of Russia is almost 50 billion. And why would anybody invest in a company when those inside the company are taking their money out? So we need to create an enabling environment. And that enabling environment requires property rights, security of persons and property, some basic functioning infrastructure, basic freedoms, and so forth. But the mafia states that we...
Okay, so he makes a good point that I'm going to steer to the relationship sector. At this point in the early 90s, you had a few Nigerian dictators. Babangida, you had Sani Abacha. And what happened was, because of that oppressive regime in Nigeria in the early 90s, people felt like it wasn't safe to invest because in their own countries, they felt like second-class citizens. Now, what do you do when you feel like a second-class citizen? You want to migrate to a place where you feel like you are welcome, which is why Nigerian Americans and many Africans that come from other places and from Caribbean, they thrive in America. Not that they don't face racism, but they feel like they have an equal playing field and that they can get the best from their efforts. That's what you're seeing black men doing. Black men are not investing in black women as much as they used to, and they're taking their talents to other places because they don't want to feel like they're second-class citizens. Imagine some of the mentalities that some of these sisters have that haven't seen fathers, and you're a black man, and you're trying to, hey, listen, I'm a man, right? Like, you don't talk to me in that way. And you're having to fight for some type of authority in the relationship as the man, although you're doing the things that a man does, but then you feel like culturally you're getting disrespected by a woman. How many men that have talent are going to sit there and deal with that? They're not. We're talking about Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State, going through problems at Jackson State, right? Do you expect a talented man like Deion Sanders to stay and put up with the lack of buffoonery that Jackson State has been doing? Absolutely not. People that have abilities to leave. And that's what some black men are doing. They're leaving. Yes. Because why? A lot of black men are feeling like that sisters look at them as second-class citizens. Now, some women may do this without even knowing it. And you can do it by how you talk to somebody, the demands you make from them, the lack of ability to want to understand them or how they feel. It doesn't matter how they feel, right? That sort of thing. Like, if somebody were to do that to you as a woman, you would have a big issue with it. So when men feel like that, they don't invest. They don't want to invest in a house for you. They don't want to put your kids in a nice school. They don't even want to have kids with you. Or they don't want to marry you. They don't want to take care of you because you're not respecting them. And that's the second reason why a lot of black men don't want to invest in black women. Let's go to number 3. The third reason is that black women do not want to compete for the availability of black men on the market. And imagine if you're a good coach like Deion Sanders and you stay at Jackson State or in any situation where the administration or the school is not willing to negotiate with you. No matter if you're a good brother or not, you're going to be underappreciated. But now what happens when people come out and they want to give you a better offer? Do you go? I'm going to tell you what we have in the black community is a lot of Deion Sandering happening every day. A lot of black men are leaving black America and they're going to a better deal. That's what Passport Bros is about, right? And, obviously I'm a black person, I'm a pro-black, and I believe in sticking with the black community, but not everybody's going to think like me. And I know that many black men out there are going to be free market specialists, all right? Coach Greg Adams calls it free agents. And that's basically saying that I'm going to the highest bidder in a free market economy. And that's typically what you're seeing. Black women are looking at black men and saying, hey, for the majority of these guys, I'm not going to cook. I'm not going to clean. I'm not going to be feminine for him. Who does he think he is? He can take it or leave it. And so if you have that attitude, then what happens is they leave it. There's no negotiations, and they go. And then when they go, you call these men particular names, but you didn't want to compete for them anyway. Go over there with the white girl. Go over there with the Asian girl. Go over there with the African girl. And a lot of brothers are leaving black women for, and I'm talking about in the African American community, for women who look just like black women. Like, for example, I have the Pan-African Dating Show channel, and it brings women together from all across the world, people from African American. We're going to have African American women on there. It's everybody that's on there, right? But what are you seeing? Brothers are looking at the women in Africa that they feel a little bit more femininely, culturally feminine, and they have the same body types, if not the same, if not better. And what are black men saying? Well, hey, I can get that same situation in Africa, and a woman that looks just as good. You know, the booty is nice and everything else is nice, and you know she don't have a lot of babies for me, and be happy. So many black men do that all the time. They start off with an African American wife, then they end up with a wife from another place. You know, because women are going to be more competitive in certain places. You know, and when those women start competing for these men that are builders, and again, these guys might not be 6'5", they may not be 6'7". They may not have $500,000 a year. But if women start competing for these guys and you don't want them, they start going to the best offer. And how can you invest in a company that doesn't want to compete? Imagine you investing your money in a company like Motorola that can't compete or doesn't want to compete or doesn't want to innovate to be with consumers when there's Apple. As black women, think about what you like to do as far as investing your money in certain gadgets. You like Apple, right? Almost every woman wants an iPhone because iPhone is always innovating. It's always competing for the market share. It's always trying to make its products better for you, the consumer. But how many women think like Apple in our community? Or are you just looking at the fact that you want money and you want somebody to do it for you, but you don't want to compete for the customer space? You want a man to compete for you, but you don't want to be competing for the man every day. And then when other women that are foreign to the community come in and they compete for these guys, what are they supposed to do? Wait on you to get your act together or give you a hometown discount? It's not what's going on. Single moms, or it can cover lack of femininity. It can cover bonnets. It can cover BB, whatever you want to say. It can cover. Those are the main three reasons that exhibit the other minor behaviors that black men talk about. And because of that, black men don't take their money and their hard-earned money, or they don't have the desire to want to take care of women in our community. Because if they found women in our community very, very valuable, you would see a lot of men becoming more successful on purpose just to take care of women in the community. They would invest. They would clean up communities. You would see more businesses there. They would make more networks with men. But because the men do not see a lot of women valuable or wife material, you don't get the investment into the family structure. Because guys feel like, well, if I want to just have sex, I can get it from anywhere. And that becomes the problem. Well, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea D. Jackson, back at it again for the video. I really thank you for your time. We're out.
Sweet potatoes and collard greens. You were on here before.
I know. What?
What's going on?
Nothing.
You were on here before. You got a boyfriend. Don't you have a boyfriend?
No.
Okay, what do you got for me?
Okay. I stopped sharing my location after our conversation.
What is my topic tonight?
I just tuned in, but I know how to make. I have a cookbook, and
are you single or married? Are you single or are you married?
Very, very single.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, well, what's up? What's the question?
The question tonight. Well, why are you here? What makes you? Why do you watch my content?
Because you are so. You enlighten me. I mean, you have like a men's perspective opposed to a woman's, which is great. And I do agree that women are not as submissive as they should be. Being that my mom, well, I'm Latina. My mom's Latina, and she's married to a white man. And he's like a white Harley driving white man.
Okay.
So, and then all of his friends are just like, you know.
What do you want? What kind of man are you looking for?
I'm looking for a masculine man. A man that, kind of like my stepdad. A man that provides. A man that is supportive. A man that values a woman to be in her womanhood. You know?
How old are you?
34.
How tall are you?
5'2".
Your size?
4, 3, extra small.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
130.
You're probably about just like 6. But anywho, no kids. Why should a man pick you to be his one and only?
Because I come from a traditional family. I am a career-oriented woman, and I know how to be a wife for a woman or submit to a man.
Well, you're a career-oriented woman? Okay. Did you go to college?
Yes.
What's your degree in?
Associate.
In what?
Just your regular AA associates, whatever.
Do you want? How many children would you like to have?
I have a daughter. She's 10. I would like to have.
There we go. I thought there was something. There it is.
You
there it is. Go ahead. You got a 10-year-old daughter, and you like to have what?
I think maybe 2, max 3.
Where's her dad?
Her dad's in the picture. We share custody. He takes her every Tuesday and every other weekend. So it's a very amicable relationship.
Why didn't you guys get married? Because these are all questions men are gonna ask.
Yeah, because he was very toxic. He was not.
So you opened your womb to a toxic man and gave him the greatest gift a woman could give a man.
It was a high school relationship.
No, you were 24.
I was 23.
Okay, don't split hairs with me like that.
Okay.
Check that shit. Don't get mad at me because I can do math. Men are going to ask, because you gave the sales pitch, I'm a career woman and I come from this family. Cool. No, it's bullshit. Because now we're getting to the nitty gritty because you wouldn't push back like that if you were what you said you were.
No, fast forward. So
No fast forward. You wouldn't push back the way you did if you were what you're saying you are.
No, I am what I say I am. And
so you're still pushing back. That's very masculine.
Okay.
See, one of the most obvious traits about a truly feminine woman is agreeableness. And so you're going to tell me he was toxic. I don't know. I'm just asking. Any man worth his salt is going to ask you, why should I be a stepfather to your daughter and open myself up to the Me Too environment and all the things that come along with bringing a child into my life, much less a female child, who's not going to be an asset to me? He's going to ask you about the ex. He's going to ask you why you didn't get married, and you got to have something better than he was toxic.
Yeah, no, I was engaged to him, and I broke off the engagement because of the factor of, there was violence, there was...
Was the police call?
Yeah.
Was this before or after you were pregnant?
This is a little bit before, and then after I got pregnant, I was like, I have a daughter, I cannot have her in this...
Okay, so here's something. I'll tell the same story. You ladies make a decision to make a baby before marriage. You are basically signing up to be single for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Because, until the child is out of the house, because you're asking a man to be a stepfather. And what you have to understand is you got to bring something to the market that's better than a woman with no children. What do you bring to this market to a man that he can't get with a woman with no kids?
A woman not how to be a mother. A woman with no kids does not know
how to be a mother.
Does not know how the family dynamic of how to be a mother and the nurturing and what plays a part of being an actual parent. That's oh my god.
A woman with no kids does not know how to be a single mother.
A woman with no kids.
A woman with no kids does not know how to be a single mother. You've not been a wife. You've been a single mother.
I have been a wife because I was.
No, you weren't. You haven't been a wife. You've been a baby mama and engaged.
But he was my high school sweetheart.
I don't care, man. You can't see, gentlemen. Because you ladies don't tell the truth. And you think we're still, because listen. Man, you said you can't make yourself a wife just because you're in a relationship. That's not how that shit works.
These are all the steps that you do, though. Like, everything that you do.
And I want you guys to understand. This is what I asked. This woman says she's a feminine woman. And listen to the argument. She said, you're making up reality. Man, the reality, here's how the story should go. I had a child with a guy. It wasn't the best decision. I take complete ownership for it. I made a mistake. I know it's going to be a burden and a strike against me. But in order to make up for that, I've done this kind of work, and this is what I bring to the table or a man to actually make myself an asset along with my child. That's not what we're getting here. What we're getting here is, well, I'm a mother because I know how to be a mom. Men are looking for somebody to be a mother to their children, not somebody else's.
And vice versa. I am looking for a man to play that role, to be a father to
my... We don't want to be fathers to your kids. We want to be fathers to our own children.
What about okay, what if you like...
Understand something. You don't have any leverage in this thing as a single mother. See, it's all about what you want. Somebody has told you because you got a dimple, you got dimples, you can get over on this shit. Don't you Kevin me. If this shit worked, this is not a two-way any goddamn thing. This is a one-way thing, my way or the highway. That's how this works. And see, if that doesn't work, and what I want you to understand, folks, is when you trigger a woman, you get the truth. And there's the truth right there. That's the truth. The sass, the resistance.
No resistance.
Mm-hmm. I get it's not a resistance. Whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. But bottom line, man, this went off the rails because instead of just saying, all right, I have a child, it's not necessarily the best situation, but here's what I bring to the table. Men don't value a career in a woman.
Okay, well,
men don't value a woman who's a mother to another man's children.
Are you serious?
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go on Tinder, and I want you to make a profile and say, no, I want you to go, no, see, you're talking. Yeah, Bumble is for feminists, but I'm a feminist. I want you to go on Tinder and say, I'm looking for someone to help me raise my child.
No, actually,
No. Because I said men are not looking for a mother. They're looking for somebody to mother their children. You seem like you're surprised that men don't want to be stepfathers. Is that surprising?
It's not that it's surprising. It's just, it's a little like, okay, just like men don't want to be stepfathers. However, men are looking for women to be stepmothers to their children. And
most men don't have children. No, ma'am, listen. Most men don't have children.
Most men?
Most men. No, okay, listen.
She just kept coming to me.
Listen, especially in the black community, 54% of black men. Listen.
You have children?
Again, I'm going to either do it this way or I'm going to hang up on you and I'll go on. Because I don't know the fuck you think you are.
That's what I said. So would you be
I'm telling you that most men don't have kids. 54% of black men are single and childless. Most men don't have kids. So if you're a single man, why would a single man want to come put up with somebody who's being as combative as you are?
I'm not sure.
Yes, and if you don't think this is combative, you don't know what men think.
Tell you something on my job.
You really
just because you're doing it with a smile.
No, but honestly, like I feel like I am very. I promise.
He goes to the church Duel and then goes.
Oh, really?
What's up, guys? Starker Wilson. Today doing a Shark Deck profile.
What's going on, guys? This is Yasin and welcome to my updated Shark Rank 4 combo video. You already know it, tomorrow is the you get 1,000 likes on this video, I will be making a live stream on this deck. So make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And now let's jump right into combo number 1 out of 5. This deck is really interesting and very appealing to new players because it's not super complicated. I don't think it's super expensive, and it's extremely fun and pretty powerful. So a 1-card combo, basically, you have a lot of them, already results in Toad. So you go normal 7 beautiful Beautiful Princess, or normal 7 Buzzsaw Shark, or go 1 for 1 to summon the beautiful Princess, the fish trail, okay? And then you get your Buzzsaw Shark, and then you can target itself, summon 1 fish monster with the same levels from your deck, which will always be the lifeless fish because it has a very nice graveyard effect, kind of like a Dynamos to roll. And then just like that, you can make your Bahamut Shark with detached material and summon the Toad. And of course, that was only in 4 summons, so Nibiru is an absolute joke, but obviously that is a super simple combo. Let's get right into the more complicated stuff now. Okay, so I wasn't joking when I said that this deck could actually become a little more complicated if you drew weird hands. So let's say you have Ready Fusion with something like a Beast Shark. Look, and what you can do is pretty interesting. So you're going to be going for your Ready Fusion, summon your Bear Fish, and that's special summon like Fish Shark, which is going to be searching for lifeless Leaf Fish. Not even the Buzzsaw Shark, because a lot of people might be like, oh, I really want to go for Buzzsaw. I think that's the most logical play. But it really isn't, because it's going to make you lose to Nibiru, because you really have to count the amount of summons you do. So that was summon number 2, and then you're going to be going summon number 3, go for lifeless Leaf Fish, send the Crystal Shark, alright? And now summon number 4 is going to be the Bahamut Shark, and summon number 5 is going to be the card that negates Nibiru, which is the Toad. And then after that, you don't really care too much because you can revive back the Crystal Shark from the grave, and you have 2 level 5 monsters, so you can make a rank 5 Exceeds Water, or if you're sick, if you're good at the game, you can actually make the Stealth Dragon because they're both treatable as level 3 or 4 monsters if you want to make a number monster. So just like that, you were able to end on the Stealth Dragon and Toad just with a very simple 2-card combo. If you were to go for the Buzzsaw Shark that you searched off of the Abyss Shark, unfortunately it would have been the summon number 5 would have been the Bahamut Shark, which would mean that you would lose way too hard to Nibiru. So that is by far the most optimal life play. And on top of that, you have a follow for next turn because the Toad recycles back in water from the grave. The Stealth Dragon actually flows a Bahamut Shark and apply pressure by summoning another Toad next turn. And you have lure your lifeless Leaf Fish, which again recycles back resources as well as drawing 1 card. So you're not really vomiting your hand by wasting 2 cards by making these negates. You're actually getting a quick effect pop, which actually also floodgates your opponent by transferring everything into water. So if something like Close and Match is really impressive, you get to destroy a monster, inflict damage to your opponent, and negate anything, steal a card, and again, like I said, recycle back a water monster from your hands. Very nice combo. Let's get into the 3rd one. Alrighty, so combo number 3 is also a very interesting combo because we're using Buzzsaw Shark but also White Mirror, which is very interesting because it's like a monstery board. Any Rhoda for the deck is really broken. So you're going to be going normal summon the Buzzsaw Shark, target itself, and then summon your Silent Anchor from your deck. Unfortunately, if you get Ghost Bird on the Buzzsaw Shark, you don't actually summon anything at all because the target has to be on the field, so then you can summon a monster with the same level. So yeah, anyways, you're going to be making the Bahamut Shark now, detach the Silent Angler, summon your Toad, and I'll go for 1 Mirror, revive back the Silent Angler, and you can search a monster with the exact same name, which is going to be Silent Angler, and if you control a water monster, you can special summon Silent Angler from your hand. However, one thing that you do have to note is that if you summon Silent Angler that way, you cannot special summon monsters from the hand for the rest of the turn. So make sure the Silent Angler is always your last extender. So now you don't really have to make it conflict with your other extenders that are the Abyss and Crystal Shark. Anyways, now you make another Bahamut Shark detached to summon another Toad, and you're not locked under any water-esque restrictions, so you can make it of a great future into a great future.
But if you look at activation, I think the security goal is different.
2 of them being Omni negates, and then 1 of them being a monster negate and then steal permanently. And it can be destroyed by card effects for battle, if I recall correctly. So very annoying card to deal with. And this is just a 2-card combo. So now let's get right into combo number 4. Alrighty, combo number 4 is definitely a much more explosive hand. So just like combo number 3, we have a Buzzsaw Shark with a White Mirror. But this time we also have Shatana and Silent Angler. So I think you can already imagine that this end board is going to be disgusting. Oh my god. So special summon the Shatana first because it's kind of like a Photon Thrasher. You have to control no monsters on the field in order to use this. Well, technically it's like you control no effect monsters, but it's not like we're playing tennis where we actually have non-effect monsters after we summon a monster. But anyways, now we go normal summon the Buzzsaw Shark, target the Shatana. So even if the Buzzsaw Shark is to show you in 2 seconds. Anyways,
Making
make
far.
sure to get your most phone because you're going to be selling so many monsters that your main monsters are going to be caught at the speed of light. Anyways, the other shark very specifically, Itachi sees the Remora.
I got my card. I'm in the elite club.
That was just how I was born. Okay, it's not my fault. Anyways, normal summon the beautifulness. Why do I keep doing the same mistake over and over? Whatever, summon the yes, and then summon the one-star shark. And now target itself to summon a fish monster from the deck, which is, again, the lifeless leaf fish, best card in the grave. Make the stealth dragon, sorry. And now summon the Xyz Remora by detaching the materials. Fun fact about Stealth Dragon is that you don't have to have any materials underneath it to use its effect to destroy a monster your opponent controls. It only destroys water monsters, but at the same time, every monster of the field becomes water, so it's like, you can only destroy everything. Anyways, revive back two fish monster from the grave with the Xyz Remora. This card is really insane. And now make the Bahamut Shark summon another Toad. And now we get to summon the Silent Angler, make another Bahamut Shark, and then another Toad. We didn't want to go for Crystal Shark because unfortunately that locks us under only summoning water monsters, if I recall correctly, for the rest of the turn or something like that. I forgot, but yeah, I don't know. It kind of clashes a bit here. Actually, that's not true. I think it only locks you under summoning Xyz monsters, but it's kind of redundant to summon because we don't have like another...
You said it was something he was going to tell me. He said something crazy. I don't know what.
3, 4, or 5 fish monster, and then if it would be used as an Xyz...
Robert. One of the substance teachers, he hasn't been there like mad days last week. And it was today. So I texted him, I got no response. Call him, I got no response. So I started asking, well, what? Where's Nagara's at? Nobody's saying nothing. Ask Ryan. One of the main people I talked to. He said, something happened. But I can't tell you. I've been sworn to secrecy. I said, nigga, what happened? He said, I really can't say anything, but I can get in trouble. I'm like, damn, really? I'm like, yeah. I said, is that deep? He said, yes. Henderson, been one of the deans. We're close, we both coach cheerleading. And like, besides me and Gio, like the two church people in school. Besides Nagaris, because Nagaris is like the famous church. So, he said, he waited till all the girls left. And he was like, alright, I gotta tell you. What's that? Babe, why did you give me this little dab? Like, what is this?
Oh, because there's not. I was trying to squeeze the barbecue sauce.
The ketchup.
I don't even know if they have ketchup. I use barbecue sauce because honestly I didn't know they had ketchup.
And this is old bread.
It's not old.
is so he said that Darius Robert, who has been gone, sexually assaulted on one of our other friends. Chris, they're gay. So he sexually assaulted a Christian who teaches physics. I'm like, we're all friends, but what do you mean he sexually assaulted?
He grabbed his dick.
He was like, now, everybody could tell him that Darius had a crush on Chris. You couldn't tell Chris was crushing back because he got like a confidence to him.
So he just acts like that all the
confidence,
time.
like, you know,
so it's hard
like me. So, you know, like me, like I carry myself like I know I'm pretty. You know, I'm not looking for compliments like that. So, wait a second, Malik's calling me. Hello? Hello? Here we go. Pretty soon he's gonna get pissed because they said they want to sit in the middle of the meeting. But the only solution I have is for him to clean house at this point. He needs to clean house and start over. That's the only thing that's gonna work. Fix the sound, get mics. Literally. Literally. No, in those words, literally the best that they can do. Exactly. And I was just saying the same thing at Mount Ali. I was like, the girl's like, you need to listen to the playbacks. And I'm you know, me and Sterling MD there, and I'm just like, I can't teach these people how to sing. They don't pay me to teach people how to sing. So week after week, you can say what you want, and we can pick whatever songs we want or not want, and they still won't be able to sing them. So what can we do? There's nothing we can do. We have to clean house. Unless somebody went to him complaining. But he said the flow was nice. He said that. Right, he wrote that in the chat. Exactly. Right. And I want to write him and be like, well, what are some of your concerns? Did you watch the playback yesterday? Yeah. We don't have sound. We don't have a band. Yep. And everybody on the praise team can't sing. But they didn't want to pay attention. Their attitudes were terrible. Well, we tried to get JT's attention because who was talking up there? Was it Pastor E or somebody up there was talking? So the whole time that was going on, me and Jameer was like, my mic's not on, and we finally got JT's attention. He's like, I know, and still didn't turn him on. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Yeah, I'm literally gonna really tell him, Vincent, we can't teach these people how to sing. Either you're gonna clean house and start over, or we're just gonna have a choir. Right. Right. And to be totally honest, that's the congregation's problem too. They need to listen to the voice of the people. They don't want to gotta listen to it very week. They hate it. Especially in our lives. Aaron sounded terrible yesterday. But you know what? It's not even... I can't even say that Aaron sounded terrible yesterday, because I sounded terrible yesterday. I sounded terrible. The altos, they weren't singing. Like, it was just all because where me and Aaron stand, you can't hear anything. So it's like, we don't know what we're singing a lot of the time. Like, I know my notes, but if you're not as strong as someone else, you get confused. And we can't hear nothing what we're saying. Like, the sound is terrible. It's terrible. So what can we do? Nothing. Alright, wait. Wait a second, I'm writing.
Ooh, excuse me.
Go back to what I was saying. I don't know what he's talking about. Go back. No. The scenario is your wife is crying about something very fucked up that happened in her life.
Mm-hmm. It's annoying. Right. Oh, a lot of people are about to quit. A lot of people want to quit. So this is what I wrote. I said, BB, I had all these same points in my write-up, and it wasn't executed at all. You heard me? I'm ready. Yeah, I'm right. All right. Wait a second.
You're killing me. You're killing me. You just gave us a compliment, nigga. Yeah. I'm hoping to have one day and not 6 months.
Right.
Right. I got 3 shows Sunday. Think about that. You just told me to have somebody else leave. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the crazy to do, because the band don't want to store it. So what are you meeting with me for? Because I'm not even able to bring material. Everything is up. I got things of music that I was not saying. Every time.
wrote it.
Nobody does this shit for free. I'm not working music industry for free. And I'm not saying you're gonna pay me, but I'm saying for the man.
Please, Malik.
That don't have the right attitude and heart to serve, and people who can't think. I've never dealt with the same issues not being resolved for so long in my life and taking a huge toll on leadership of the team because they complain everything and I can only say but so much about the sound, the band, the songs, the voices, outfits, the schedule, the membership, the leadership. I promise you aren't satisfied. Never will. Never will. Never will.
There's a God on the board.
The gifts that I've been given, as well as the position God gave you. But the circumstances, God has changed. I'm trying to give the work of us all. We got to address issues when I roll and not go around the issues. This is not a ministry that we can be remotely passionate about. Amen. No other church is. The music ministry, the music is on front. We got to be good with the help of God in addressing many elements. Let's work together with our ability to make the shit stay afloat. We're not doing it at all. Crazy expanding it. Yes. Let me just say, I bet you $1 million. And this response is fucking stupid. I bet you. And I really. The end of the year should be the time this ministry comes together to discuss what the next year looks like. Because even if the things were wonderful, it could become better. It's just not a discussion I would want to have this time. Like I said, my business message. I would love for us to come together virtually. See, now my lecture sponsors, I can't say that because I'm saying I'm tired of it. I'm tired of having a meeting. I don't want to talk to you anymore about anything. One thing I'm talking about is, hey man, how was your day? Oh, good. What's your day? You know, what's your day? You know, get together. That's what I'm talking about. Don't talk about nothing else.
At all. I want to write, can Dave Caton and this other guy teach people how to sing?
They be doing that in the backyard, like right in the parking lot.
You have a bad habit of speaking for everyone else and 23 that need to stop. If everyone wanted to quit, they're all going up to speak up and say how they really feel.
I am also a member of the team. The only one that is both.
always become better. This is not a discussion I want to have with text message, as I said in my previous message. You trying to be mad, you can't hear it. As I said in my previous message, I would love for us to come together virtually and discuss what we had a bad habit of speaking to everyone. But 2022 doesn't do that. And everyone wanted to quit. They all wanted to speak up and say how they do it.
Wait, I'm gonna call you right back. Huh? Alright. That's all. Alright, I'm gonna call you right back. I gotta write a voice message. Alright, so let me say it so it doesn't sound combative. Reminds me of my mother-in-law. Whenever I say a response, she thinks I'm being combative. I'm saying that jokingly. I'm only saying that I am also a member of the team. I don't lead praise and worship like Malik. I led for Women's Day. That's it. So I'm a member of the team. So when I speak for everyone else, I'm also speaking for me. They come to me and Malik with their complaints. And their biggest thing now is they want to quit because they hate the way it sounds. Now, most of them that want to quit, to me, are the biggest issues. That's just my opinion. No, actually, no. That's a fact. And we get feedback from the congregation. Like, that all comes to me and Malik. These people don't want to really come to you and say nothing. First of all, you're their friend. Second of all, take this the right way. They know they can come to Malik and me and, we can go to you. They don't always feel like they can go to you because maybe they feel like they're hurting your feelings or something like that. Me, you know me, I'm going to give it to everybody straight. I don't care who you are, what position you hold. I'm going to let you know because I want to do things in excellence. But I did definitely state, all of this in my write-up. And now the fact that it's to the point where people want to quit is ridiculous. I think the number one problem with our praise team, and no one would disagree with this, is the way we sound. Everyone on the praise team cannot sing. Everyone on the praise team cannot harmonize and hold notes effectively without having to be told 15,000 times. And no matter how much we've rehearsed, it never sounds that way on a Sunday. So that's the number one problem. The sound, the band, that being the second problem. A lot of people have the problem with who's been leading praise and worship. They don't think Kalaja's a great leader. A lot of people disagree with her leading. They said she has no feeling, no power, all this stuff. These are all things that come back to me. But, that has nothing to do with me. That's not my decision. I feel like there are some things that just need to be addressed that are elephants, and they're just not being executed and addressed. It shouldn't take 15 million, meetings to figure stuff out that people can figure out in 5 minutes. It really shouldn't be this complicated. I'm not trying to be combative. I'm really not trying to be combative. You're hearing it over text, you're reading it over text, so that's why. Let's just get to the point, okay? The people want to quit. And the people think we sound bad online, and the people think we sound bad in person. BB, I'm going to always give it to you straight, okay? You're my pastor, but I consider you a brother, and I'm not going to sit here and have you embarrassed, and I'm not going to be embarrassed myself, because, there's no reason to be. Nobody else that really has an effective praise team, has people in the praise team that are not at the same level musically. Our biggest issue is we sound really good in rehearsal. Even though we kind of just run through things in rehearsal, we're not having real rehearsals, and we know what real rehearsals are. But we don't sound the same on Sunday. And up there, if you can imagine how it feels to not know what you're supposed to do, you're told to stay in your section, which is not actually your section, because I'm not a soprano. I cannot emphasize that enough. But I can sing soprano. But when the altos don't have their note or just didn't feel like singing because they had an attitude with Malik for whatever reason yesterday, I'm like, do I go there? Do I sing tenor because Jameer's not singing it right or Jill is not singing it right? Like, it's a lot of places I gotta be at once. And, you know, if I stay there and I'm trying to help Erin, it sounds like I'm off. She's singing off, so I sound off. And it's just a lot. And every single thing that you pointed out, besides these two men that are gonna, I don't know, teach people how to sing, I don't know what they're gonna do with this boot camp. But, like, we know professionalism. We've sang in front of crowds. We've sang in groups. We've done this. BB, me, you, and Malik, there's a reason why you chose us. We know how it's supposed to be done. But the complaints we're getting, people wanting to quit, you know, it's just a lot that is coming at us. It is. And I wrote all this down in my write-up. Like, literally. Every single point that you're pointing out, it was addressed already in the last meeting. But it was kind of skimmed over. And elephants continue to be, you know, not handled. Like, we continue to be passive about things that any other church will be just nipping in the bud because we're on live and we're trying to win souls. And we don't want our music to sound whack. Like, you Principal Hannon, your music department should be one of the best in the world. Not in the state, not in this country, in the world. Your music, like, people should want to turn to you, to your music department like they do with some of these other churches that we watch. It's crazy we rather watch other churches' ministries of music than our own. Like, so I'm just saying from my point of view, you know, so we all can seem like we're on one accord, because that's one thing they say too. Me, you, and Malik is just confusion. That's what they see. And to me, it's not the case, because we do talk to y'all. They just don't see our conversations like this one. But there are some things that need to be addressed, and I really feel like starting over in 2023 is a good idea. Even if we just have to sit some people down, even if it's me, whatever helps keep the boat afloat. Like, we need to do it. Well, while we're listing the things that you want to address before the year's out, can we please, like, pinpoint the fact that it is the things that I already addressed in the last meeting that I wrote out? I mean, every person, every name, everything was written out. Clear as crystal. Like, it's to the point now where they think it's just a bunch of confusion and they want to quit. But it's crazy that the ones that want to quit are the ones that, you know, are causing the most issues. And we got to stop being passive, and we got to stop going over the issues. Like, we need to address them. We need to address the issues. I'm not going to be a part of anything where it's just going to keep being brushed aside, because nothing is ever going to be better. Not having the equipment and sound is one thing. The band wanting to play, not wanting to play, that's another thing. But the membership and the hardest to serve, the attitudes that me and Malik get every single week that you don't even know we do, even yesterday, as far as how people look when they're up there, how they're dressed when they're up there, their attitudes when they're up there, me and Malik get all that every week. And me and Malik can only say but so much, because we already addressed these things and nothing is happening. So in this meeting that we have, Susie Marie personally wants to address the issues, not skim over them, not be passive about them. I mean, if we have to pinpoint every single person and what they bring to the table, then we need to do that. And that's including me and Malik. Like, we gotta do what we gotta do, because You know, I'm getting what I need in the word and everything, but the music can't be whack. Not at your church, Vincent. No, I don't accept that. And I won't be part of that. Like, I love y'all both, but we both are too talented and too gifted to have a whack music ministry and to have confusion. We're mature adults. We're all in our 30s. We know how to get this done, and we know what we need to do. And to be totally honest, if you want to bring outside forces, cool. But we know what we have to do, and what we wouldn't even have to bring anybody in outside. This is not a time to pat people in the back and pacify anybody. Because we weren't pacified growing up. This is why we're as good as we are. Like, it's time to address the issues. Or we're just not going to do it at all. At least that's where I'm at. And I didn't say that to be combative. I'm just saying that you can hear my voice, that you know my passion about music and this ministry and you. And like, so you're not thinking I'm trying to argue with you, but you know, you're going to get a response out of me because I care about it. If I didn't care, I won't respond.